What's up, YouTube? So I'm out here on Monument Street. I haven't been out here in quite some time. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to update you guys on how much building or cleanup is underway on Monument Street. Let's see what address. So this is 1343 Monument Street, Pacific Palisades, California. And then if you look over, I'm pretty sure all of those hills, everything over there was all on fire. I remember coming up here for the first time months ago, and I actually made like a YouTube short video. And in the YouTube short video, I added the song Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones. Such a good song. Look at that view though, man. I'll zoom in so maybe you guys can see. You can see the ocean, but maybe I can get you a better view of the ocean. Whoops. It's so beautiful out here. If it wasn't for these damn fires, this is really living. These people who live up here, man, you really couldn't have asked for a better location. You know, I know a lot of people in the comments section, they always talk about how, you know, the land, there's no space, your neighbors are right next to each other. Yeah, that's fair. I give you that. But man, look at these guys right here. Imagine living in this house right here. And I bet you up there's a master bedroom. And then you wake up in the morning, you click a button, and your blinds open. You know, and you just see the Pacific Ocean. Maybe they couldn't see it. I don't know. Maybe there's a big old house right here in front of them, but still, it's a wonderful place. Well, it was. And I'm sure it will be again. It's just, it's going to take a really long time. As you can see, you know, these hillside properties are untouched other than the cleanup. It's going to be a very long time to rebuild these properties just because of the complexity. It's not flat, it's alongside a hill, and that just, it really makes it much harder to build. There's actually a building over there off of the distance towards the right. Maybe we'll go over there and check out that property. I better start picking up the pace. Traversing these hills. It's good for you. So I heard the big old beautiful juicy bill got passed today or yesterday or something. I don't know. So I guess we'll see what that does. Extends tax cuts and no tax on tips or no tax on overtime, and I work a lot of overtime. I make tens of thousands of dollars on overtime alone. So that's a big one. That's going to be nice. Driving trucks all day. 10, 11, 12-hour shifts. All these guys are suited up. They probably got some hazmat right here or something. As you can see, they're still picking up lots, man. What is it? It's been the 6-month mark now. What's up, dude? Monument Street. These houses used to be so beautiful. They were really architectural, just masterpieces. They were so beautiful. I like this kind of living. I don't mind having neighbors. Well, that's all I really know growing up in the Valley or Los Angeles. That's all I really know. Just cul-de-sacs and, you know, houses right next to one another. I've never lived in an area, even when I moved to Sacramento as a young kid, well, I still had, you know, houses right next to one another. So this property is for sale right here. Let's see what's this address. This is 1271 Monument Street. So these people are done. And these guys, I remember I've delivered here to D&D Construction. I dropped off all this bar. All that bar in there, all that fabricated bent rebar, I dropped that off like a week ago. All those bent bars, L bars, ties. It's a pain in the ass backing the truck inside that little thing. Luckily they got that big old excavator. You can just wrap a chain around the rebar and the thing pick it up. It's nice. So I don't have to go up on the truck on the flatbed with a big old pry bar and start prying this stuff off the side of the bar or off the side of the truck. It's always early in the morning, it hurt your back. This guy's doing a foundation right here. I'm not sure if this was permitted prior to the fire or if it kind of looks like when you look at the wood. So obviously they're probably just going to be doing a very, very similar rebuild to what was here, just based on the wood and where it's placed. You know, doesn't look like they're going any bigger. Probably going to be the exact same rebuild or very similar. This one up here, I don't know, man. They threw this frame up. That looks like fresh concrete, and those pipes in the ground look pretty fresh. You can see the permit up there on that fence. That's good. Good for them. This is 1263. Not for sale. Protect the Palisades. Yep. There's a lot of lots for sale. In the alphabet streets, that's all you see. Every street, there's lots for sale. I would have expected more of these lots to be for sale up on the hill. Just because it's going to be such a challenge to rebuild up here. Oh, it looks like you got another property over there on the left, where they're throwing a frame up. I wish I could just cut through, but check this out. Look at what these people have to do. These people spend millions of dollars, okay? Millions of dollars on property taxes and just taxes in general. And, you know, they have this wonderful house, multi-million-dollar house down the street from the beach. And they got to do this. They got to put Pally strong and no valuables left, because there's losers out there, druggies, that come in here at nighttime looking to pop open a window and see if there's anything in there worth stealing. Such a shame, man. There's that. You might be able to see that property that's under construction. I'll zoom in. I don't know what street that is. It's another property. Or there's, building. I know you guys like to see that kind of stuff. Especially, I would assume all of the Palisades, the residents, the people that live here, whenever they see a building underway, it's really kind of like a representation of hope, or a glimmer of hope, anyways. The light at the end of the tunnel. It's so messed up what happened. It's so easy to forget how these were all people's dreams and aspirations and, all of their materials and their objects that they had acquired over the years. There's things that were inside these homes that were irreplaceable. It's so easy to forget that too. And I'm not the most optimistic person either. I tend to have this dark doom and gloom outlook. And I don't know, maybe that's just because of the way that I grew up in life, or some of the experiences in life that I've gone through. I don't know. It's kind of hard to be optimistic when you take into consideration how messed up everything is right now, and especially for a state and city like California and Los Angeles. There's so many challenges to overcome for these communities. You know what I really love to see too? It always does something to my spirit. I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but whenever I see the American flag waving like that, as stupid as that sounds, it's always nice to see. What street is this? This is 15306 Whitfield Avenue. I'm actually really excited and anxious to see what these properties will look like when they're rebuilt. Deeper's cheaper. And so you got another property for sale right here. (15318) Whitfield Avenue. Look at this home. It's like it was virtually untouched from the outside. That's what it looks like. Looks like it was built very well. Hopefully there's not too much smoke damage. And hopefully the windows and the cracks and the doors were all sealed up really tight. That fire got close though, boy. Look at that. Look at those trees right up next to the house. It got so hot it busted out the glass. I think that's what happened to a lot of the, oh look, they were like double pane glass, so only the outside, I don't know if you can see, let me see if I can zoom in. I don't know the differences between glass types, so if I inaccurately call it, it looked like there was multiple layers of glass and only the outside layer popped. Because of, obviously the heat was so intense. And I bet you that's how a lot of homes in the alphabet streets went up in flames. It's because the heat just busted out the window, and then an ember or something like that flew into the living room or the bedroom, and next thing you know, the bed started cooking. So here you got a corner lot, Whitfield Avenue. I'm not sure I've been up here before. I never really liked corner lots. This is 1214 Rimmer Avenue. Look at those big old palm trees in the backyard. I remember at my, when I was a kid growing up, my grandmother had this really big palm tree in the front yard, and they ended up cutting it down. But the guy who went up there to top the thing, he didn't know that there was a beehive up in there, so he went up there with his earbuds on and his goggles and whatnot. He must not have been paying attention, and he started cranking up that chainsaw, and all of a sudden the bees started lighting him up. That was sick. I thought it was so funny. I saw him up there panicking and struggling on the ladder or whatever the hell it was, I forget. The whole swarm of bees was lighting that poor guy up. There's nothing I could do. You can imagine being at the top of a palm tree and just getting lit up by a swarm of bees. Poor bastard. That was great. He'll be all right. I hope. It wasn't a really tall palm tree. It was kind of short and stubby, but it was big enough to where you had to climb it. It's hilarious. Poor bastard. You ever see that one video on YouTube? There's a palm tree all leaned over because it's so heavy, and the guy cuts the top off, and the palm tree rockets, slingshots him, and he just hangs on for dear life. Guy's about 100 foot up in the air, rocking back and forth with a giant palm tree. It's hilarious. That's what these workers do, man. These guys that come up from Mexico, Guatemala, Nicaragua, wherever they come from, that's the work that they do. And you're going to start to see that have an impact on the rebuilding process here in the Palisades, whether you believe it or not. Some people are questioning how long these ICE raids are going to happen for, but I think it's pretty safe to assume that they're going to continue as long as Donald Trump is in office. So, and whether or not you agree with it or whether or not you like it, it doesn't really matter. There's nothing you can do about it, and I'm starting to physically see it. I told you guys earlier in another video, there's a job site that I went up there off of Angelo View. They were using hundreds of workers, and now all of a sudden nobody's showing up. So they went from having 200, 300 workers to having like 20, 30. The numbers dropped off ridiculous. And it's just because people are afraid. They don't want to. And then when you do find these guys working at job sites, they'll go to a job site like this and they'll close the fence behind them. So if ICE rolls up on them, they're on private property. And unless they got like a search warrant or something like that, they can't really do anything. They're going to get snatched up regardless, but unless they come with like a helicopter and a rope to pick them up or something. I don't know. Poor guys. These bastards work hard, man. All of this whole community, whether you guys believe it or not, was at some point built with the hands, of people who aren't supposed to be here, of illegals, or migrants, whatever you want to call them. It doesn't really matter. And when I say that, I'm not talking down on them. Some of them are really good people. They work really hard. Some of them are really like artists. The quality of work and craftsmanship that they do is really phenomenal. But you know, their countries aren't really doing very well, whether it's Mexico or Guatemala or Argentina, whatever, El Salvador. Those countries are failing miserably. Millions of people are fleeing those countries and coming up here to try and work. So I don't blame them. I'd leave too. All right, guys, so that was just a quick little walk around Monument Street. This video is getting pretty long, and then we got a sweeper truck coming up on us. So before I say goodbye, well, I guess before I let you go, I want to say goodbye and say thank you to everyone again. You know, I don't say it enough. The channel is still continuing to grow, and it's really all attributed to you guys who continuously check out the channel. You like, you comment, you subscribe, all that stuff, you know. It really does make a difference, and all of those little things that you guys do, liking, commenting, and subscribing, it really helps push out my videos into YouTube land or whatever, and it helps acquire more views. Hold on. Some videos do a lot better than others. You know, like the other day, I'll give you an example. The other day I posted a video about California's real estate market, and that seemed to do pretty well. Obviously, a lot of the viewers, maybe it was like a clickbait title. I don't know, I guess you could call it that, or whatever. Wasn't trying to clickbait anything, but obviously a lot of people are interested or fascinated in what's happening within the California real estate market. You got another lot for sale here. And you got another lot for sale here. So obviously that is of interest to you guys. So I'll try to do my best and do more research on what's going on a local level and a state level and a national level. And if you disagree, you disagree. If you agree, you agree. It doesn't matter. So some people tell me, oh, you need to get your facts right. Like, sometimes people are factually incorrect. Sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I'm right. Who cares? At the end of the day, if you're a realtor and you're in the industry of selling houses for a living, you're in recession. There's no shot you're selling houses like what you were pre-COVID. No shot. Unless you're a really good one. And that really tells you everything you need to know about the real estate market in California and just nationally. I don't need to be a professional, and I don't need to have my facts right to understand that the mortgage application rate's at a 30-year low. What more do you need to say? Nobody's buying houses. Interest rates are too high. Period. End of story. All right, guys. So go ahead and finish this one out on Monument Street. Until next time, guys. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.